Kyle Busch blocks in the 48. Kyle, right rear hanging out, which is legal. I would have loved if I was the 48 that he would have got a little further in his box, but hey, Kyle Busch did everything he was allowed to do.
Maybe he feels like the 48 got too deep in his box and didn't allow him to get where he needed to get.
I don't know, but I'm going to keep an eye on this. Watch this as we come back.
What happens when a two-time NASCAR champion reaches his absolute breaking point? Kyle Busch just showed us at Iowa Speedway, and it wasn't pretty. The veteran driver unleashed an F-bomb-filled radio rant that had the entire NASCAR world talking. This wasn't just another heated moment. This was a complete meltdown, years in the making. Kyle Busch's Iowa nightmare started before the race even began. Saturday's practice session looked promising. The 40-year-old was running second fastest in his group, pushing his Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet to find that extra tenth of a second. Then, disaster struck. Entering turn 1, Busch felt confident after a strong run through turns 3 and 4. Felt really good in 3 and 4 there, I throttled up, Busch explained after the crash. Car stuck well, and I'm like, okay, the right rear's good, let's go, and drove it off into 1 with a little bit more trust factor in it, and obviously it wasn't there. The number 8 Chevrolet got loose. Busch overcorrected. The car snapped sideways and slammed headfirst into the wall. Flames erupted from the front end as the primary car was destroyed beyond repair. Got a little bit loose and overcorrected and just smacked the fence, Busch said. The crash forced his team to work through the night preparing a backup car. For a driver sitting 81 points below the playoff cutoff line, this spelled disaster. Busch would start 37th, dead last in the field. The psychological impact was immediate. Busch admitted his trust in the RCR cars dropped to 0 after the wreck. I was probably built up to about 75–80% trust. Now I'm back to 0 again, he said. Sunday brought the Iowa Corn 350, and Busch faced an uphill battle from the rear. Starting 37th in a backup car would test every ounce of his championship experience. Stage 1 showed modest progress. Busch nursed the backup machine from 37th to 33rd position. Not spectacular, but survival mode was the priority. Stage 2 delivered the breakthrough. Busch clawed his way through traffic, showcasing why he's a 63-time Cup Series winner. Strategic calls from crew chief Randall Burnett put him in position to capitalize. When the checkered flag waved for Stage 2, Busch had climbed to 5th place, earning crucial stage points. The momentum felt real. The backup car was responding. Maybe this weekend from hell could be salvaged after all. Then came lap 169. Shane Van Gisbergen's spin-off turn 2 brought out the caution flag. Cars flooded pit road for service under yellow. Iowa Speedway's narrow pit road layout created immediate problems. Busch's pit box sat directly next to Alex Bowman's number, 48 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. As multiple cars hit pit road simultaneously, traffic became a nightmare. Busch found himself trapped. The angle required to enter his pit stall created a traffic jam. His awkward entry blocked Bowman's smooth approach to the adjacent pit box. Bowman wasn't happy about the delay, but if he expected an apology from Kyle Busch, he clearly forgot who he was dealing with. That's when Busch exploded. NASCAR reporter Steven Taranto captured the raw audio that sent shockwaves through the NASCAR community. Over his team radio, Busch unleashed a profanity-laced tirade that would become instant legend. Go tell the 48s to fuck off. It's a shitty situation. We all fucking suck. What do you want me to fucking do? But Busch wasn't finished. He threw his hand out the car window in a gesture clearly directed at Bowman. The message was unmistakable. This wasn't just about a pit road traffic jam. This was the culmination of years of frustration boiling over in one volcanic moment. The "we all fucking suck" comment revealed everything. Busch wasn't just mad at Bowman. He was furious with his team's performance, his own struggles, and a season spiraling out of control. Consider the context. Busch had just destroyed his primary car in practice. He was starting last in a backup. He was 81 points below the playoff cut line with 3 races remaining. Every position mattered. Every point counted. The pit road incident amplified all of that pressure into one explosive moment. Bowman kept his composure and finished 7th, earning his 5th top 10 result in the last 6 races. Meanwhile, Busch's frustration continued mounting. Busch's meltdown reflects a deeper crisis. The two-time champion hasn't won a race since the Worldwide Technology Raceway in 2023, his third career victory with Richard Childress Racing. His 2025 statistics paint a troubling picture. After 23 starts, Busch has managed only 2 top 5 finishes and 7 top 10s. These numbers represent a dramatic decline from his championship years. The playoff situation adds another layer of desperation. Busch trails Chris Buescher, who occupies the final playoff spot, by 73 points. With 3 races remaining, that's a massive deficit to overcome through points alone. His only realistic path to the playoffs? Win one of the next 3 races at Watkins Glen, Richmond, or Daytona. Busch's post-race comments revealed the technical issues plaguing his season. Despite fighting back to a 20th place finish, remarkable considering his starting position, the fundamental problems remained. We started the weekend in a deficit after going to a backup car on Saturday, and spent most of the day Sunday just battling for track position in our Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen Chevrolet, Busch explained. Crew Chief Randall Burnett made some race strategy calls that got us into the top 10 and earned us some stage points, but we lost that track position in Stage 3 and struggled to return to the front. The core issue? Our Chevy couldn't turn in traffic, even with the freshest tires and dirty air didn't help. We busted our behinds out there today, but didn't have enough. Busch's struggles highlight a broader challenge with NASCAR's next-gen car. His historical strengths haven't translated to the new platform. Take Watkins Glen, the next race on the schedule. Busch has 2 career wins at the road course and was historically dominant there. Since joining RCR in 2023, he hasn't managed a single top 10 finish at the track. Richmond presents a similar story. Busch has 6 total wins at the short track, making it one of his strongest venues historically. In the next-gen era, 0 wins in 6 starts since 2022. Even Daytona, the final regular season race, offers limited hope. In 40 career starts at the Super Speedway, Busch has just 1 victory. The next-gen car hasn't produced a Daytona win for him either. Busch's explosion occurred against a backdrop of broader NASCAR frustration at Iowa. Denny Hamlin voiced similar concerns about the racing product. Hamlin criticized NASCAR and Goodyear's tire choice, sending Dale Earnhardt Jr. a screenshot with the message.
On Saturday night, and I said, can you believe that we tire tested here? Not we, the 11 car, but NASCAR and Goodyear tire tested here, and this is the tire that they came up with, is the one that had 0 fall off after 50 laps.
The tire compound created passing difficulties that frustrated multiple drivers. Hamlin explained that the difference between first and 30th place was only 0.3 of a second, making overtaking nearly impossible.
It just makes it extremely difficult, and really the only time you see those passes is when chaos breaks out, either on restarts or when the leader catches the back of the pack. And that's what we, as drivers, are most frustrated about.
Busch's playoff hopes now rest on 3 vastly different challenges. Each track tells a different story about his remaining chances. Watkins Glen requires road course mastery. Busch's 2 career wins there came in a different era. His next-gen struggles at road courses suggest this won't be his salvation. Richmond demands short-track expertise. 6 career wins prove Busch's historical dominance, but the next-gen car has neutralized many of his traditional advantages. Daytona offers superspeedway chaos. 1 win in 40 starts isn't encouraging, but anything can happen in a restrictor plate race.
Has there been a shift that you've noticed? Like people are like, let's get this guy out of here. He's too good.
Yeah, especially when you got the 3 races in a row, and then people make these comparisons on the internet. Same stats as Tony Stewart or Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon.
Denny Hamlin.
I'm like, I know it's not the same. Like, I'm not an idiot, and I don't ever compare myself to those guys, but that obviously starts the online talk, and then people...
Shane Van Gisbergen made a stunning declaration about Brad Keselowski that's completely reframing the playoff format debate. With only 3 races remaining in the 2025 regular season, SVG's powerful message is revealing the true colors of NASCAR's critics in ways nobody saw coming. NASCAR finds itself in the middle of a heated playoff debate after Joey Logano captured the 2024 Cup Series title with the worst average finish in championship history. Demands for returning to a full points playoff system reached fever pitch. Critics argue the current format completely disregards multi-time winners during the regular season, protesting against what they see as a lack of merit in the 12-year-old system. The present playoff format lets 16 drivers into the playoffs, then forces them to survive through 3 elimination rounds of 3 races each. This structure was designed to increase TV ratings and create Game 7 moments, but it's also sparked fierce resistance from fans and drivers who believe it undermines seasonal performance. However, SVG just illuminated exactly why the current system still works, and his reasoning centers on one driver who's become the perfect test case. Shane Van Gisbergen revealed his surprising support for Brad Keselowski's playoff push. Speaking on a Stacking Pennies episode, SVG drew a direct parallel between his own journey and Keselowski's remarkable turnaround.
Like, obviously my championship position's running now, but when I first won the race, I was 32nd or something. So I can see why, but I really want Brad Keselowski to win a race because he was like 30th as well at the time, and it would have been interesting to see what people thought about that because he's a champion, right?
Right.
And he could run pretty deep in the playoffs. So
this statement carries enormous weight. SVG experienced his own dramatic reversal of fortune, starting as a non-factor in the first half of 2025 before grabbing 3 consecutive road course victories at Mexico City, Chicago, and Sonoma. Now he's watching Keselowski follow a remarkably similar path. The 2012 Cup Series champion currently sits 19th in championship standings with 4 top 5s and 7 top 10s. Keselowski's dual role as RFK racing owner and driver of the number. 6 Ford makes his playoff situation particularly compelling. If he can secure a trophy in the next 3 weekends, he'll jump directly into the playoffs, exactly the kind of dramatic storyline that validates SVG's perspective on the current format. SVG's message goes deeper than simple support. He's essentially calling out the hypocrisy of playoff format critics by suggesting that a Keselowski victory would reveal their true colors. The logic is bulletproof. If critics truly believe the system lacks merit, would they maintain that stance when a proven champion like Keselowski benefits from it? I really like the dynamic it brings now. More exciting. This perspective highlights the format's ability to create compelling narratives around unexpected drivers. With 13 different winners this season, and Bubba Wallace becoming the latest, the playoff picture has become increasingly unpredictable. Tyler Reddick holds the final spot at plus 122 points, followed by Alex Bowman at plus 63 and Chris Buescher at plus 23. The numbers behind Keselowski's turnaround are staggering. His first 12 races featured 5 separate wrecks, leaving him mired in the lower echelons of the standings. It wasn't until race 13, the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, that he recorded his first top 10 finish of the season. After hitting rock bottom at 32nd in points following Mexico City, Keselowski has climbed 13 positions with a remarkable string of performances. 9th at Pocono Raceway, 2nd at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 11th at Sonoma Raceway, 10th at Dover Motor Speedway, 5th at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and his stunning 3rd-place finish at Iowa. The Iowa performance particularly showcased his potential. Keselowski swept both opening stages, dominated large portions of the 350-lap event, and nearly broke his 46-race winless streak. Only William Byron's fuel-saving masterclass, stretching 144 laps on his final tank, prevented Keselowski from securing his breakthrough victory. We had an opportunity today, but yeah, it's disappointing to not be able to get the win, Keselowski said post-race. But we put ourselves in position and we can't control what we can't control, and we need to focus on what we can, and we couldn't control all the yellows that shifted the dynamics of the race today away from us. Keselowski's confidence heading into the final 3 races is unmistakable. I just feel like we can win any of these next 3 races, and that's a good feeling, he declared after Iowa. At Watkins Glen International, Keselowski has 4 top 5s and 6 top 10s across his career, though his best finish in the last 5 years was 9th in 2019. The track holds special significance as teammate Chris Buescher won there last year with a thrilling last-lap pass of Shane Van Gisbergen. Richmond Raceway presents his strongest opportunity. Keselowski is a 2-time winner there, 2014 and 2020, with 6 top 5s and 15 top 10s in 30 starts. His average finish of 12.1 at the 0.75-mile short track, combined with his dominant Iowa performance on a similarly characterized venue, makes Richmond his most likely path to victory. Daytona International Speedway offers the wildcard scenario. While Keselowski has one win there in 2016 with 4 top 5s and 8 top 10s and 32 starts, his super speedway record includes 10 wrecks and 1 DVP finish in his last 17 races. While supporting Keselowski's playoff push, SVG carries his own motivation heading to Watkins Glen. The memory of his 2024 heartbreak at the track still burns. Leading on the final restart with victory in sight, SVG made a crucial mistake in the bus stop section, allowing Chris Buescher to make contact and steal the win. I still get frustrated thinking about that race. When I make a personal mistake like that, it makes me angry to think that I threw that one away myself, especially after how good of a day it was, and we had the fastest car all day. Then to do that. I really want to get there this weekend, make no mistakes, have a fast car, and try and execute all day, which we have been doing on the road courses, and it will be good to continue doing that. This adds another layer to the Watkins Glen storyline. SVG will attempt to extend his road course dominance while simultaneously rooting for the organization whose driver denied him victory just 1 year ago. SVG's Iowa experience perfectly illustrated the fine line between triumph and disaster in NASCAR. Starting 21st, he battled through early brake bias adjuster issues before spinning on lap 169 when his car became increasingly loose. The rear left corner made heavy contact with the wall, requiring extensive repairs. We just ran long and I was getting looser and looser. I just made an error and it finally bit me, Van Gisbergen explained. After claiming the lucky dog free pass and climbing back to 16th, disaster struck again on lap 262. Kyle Busch made contact, sending SVG spinning across the infield grass. While the second incident appeared innocuous, it caused critical front splitter damage that ruined his recovery chances. Good rebound from the first one. Not much we could do about the second, said crew chief Stephen Doran. SVG finished 31st, but his resilience in avoiding multiple other incidents throughout the chaotic 12-caution race demonstrated his growing oval racing skills. The Iowa race showcased RFK Racing's remarkable organizational momentum. For the second consecutive week, both team cars finished in the top 5, a feat the organization hadn't achieved in back-to-back events since 2012. Ryan Preece's 5th-place finish from 33rd starting position highlighted the team's depth. Despite facing a speeding penalty during the stage break caused by dashboard light issues, Preece methodically climbed through the field. His 10th top 10 result of the season doubled his previous career best and moved him within 23 points of the playoff cut line.
Everything. Much room do I have to leave people? How's my ride recorder? All that stupid.
Yeah, we're going to look at it. I know those guys have been hard on you, man.
On August 3rd, 2025, something big happened during a race at Iowa Speedway. Kyle Larson got really mad and shouted on the radio for everyone to hear. People were surprised and didn't expect it. It wasn't just about one bad moment, it showed that things were not going well with his team. What happened next kept everyone talking. Kyle Larson entered the Iowa Corn 350 following a runner-up finish at the Brickyard 400 just 1 week earlier. He began the race from 3rd on the grid. During Stage 1, Larson maintained a clean run and finished 6th. Those initial laps offered promise after a strong performance in Indianapolis. Contact began in Stage 2. On restarts, Larson and teammate Chase Elliott collided multiple times while fighting for a position inside the top 10. Elliott drove into the middle lane during a restart and applied door-to-door contact with Larson. That contact sent Larson's car into a skid, nearly triggering a wreck. NBC commentator Jeff Burton declared, "Almost wrecked. I cannot believe he saved that race car." That moment drew notice from fans and analysts alike. The pattern continued shortly thereafter. Another restart saw harder contact between the two Hendrick drivers. Larson's car got loose again, but remained upright. Additional contact involved Christopher Bell during Stage 3. Bell's move, off, turn 4, sent Larson bouncing toward the wall, costing multiple spots. Ross Chastain followed up by filling the gap and pushing Larson further down the order. Meanwhile, the race had become chaotic. Multiple cautions disrupted strategy, including incidents involving Tyler Reddick and Ty Dillon. Pit stops for nose damage became necessary after Larson checked up to avoid a spinning car. That forced extra stops, further eroding his competitiveness. Larson's frustration peaked over the radio. He first exclaimed,
"Everything. Much room do I have to leave people? How's my ride recorder? All that stupid."
Yeah, we're going to look at it. I know those guys have been hard on you, man.